Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Tyler Carmen alongside John Beltran from what we thought was going to be Arvada High School, but it's not. It's NAAC Stadium way out in Golden, Colorado, as your Brush Beat Diggers have traveled all the way up here to take on the Arvada Bulldogs. John, welcome in. Thanks for coming up, making the trip with me. It's a good thing that you were driving.
Tyler, yeah, we got here in plenty of time, and the wind could be a factor in the kicking and punting game. Certainly it's swirling, and we are high atop, on top of the press box here in Golden as the Beat Diggers go into this game with a 1-3 record, and Arvada's 2-2, but league play begins, so these are really like playoff games. Like Coach Rosenbrock said in the pregame, at this point, because of the fact they were 1-3 in their non-conference, now you got to win all these games to qualify for the playoffs because they're 24th in the RPI.
Pre-game show presented by Equitable Savings and Loan. Borrow locally from people you know. Equitable has been providing personal bankers to help you through all the steps. Stop by one of 10 locations across the plains or visit equitable-savings.com. Bulldogs had not returned to the field yet, but it looks like they're getting ready for the anthem. Go ahead and run through Arvada's starting lineup real fast. They'll go with number 1, Junior Aragon, number 2, Adrian Campos, number 5, Gabriel Mongoya. He is the one to watch for. He's a junior. Number 7, Josiah Barajas. Number 12, Jade Jessup. Number 15, Yvonne Rodriguez. Number 33, Jason Martinez. Number 77, Yahin Villegas. And number 84, Jeremiah Areño. They are coached by Glennon Alman, assisted by Dennis Stepanich, Josh Mayes, LT Martinez, Manny Martinez, Trey Alman, and Vernon Whittington. For your Brush Beat Diggers who come into tonight 1-3, they go with number 7, Nate Tyne, number 11, Hunter Proctor, number 35, Ty Griffith, number 37, Tanner Ludgate, number 59, Caden Castrop, number 63, Cole Curtis, number 65, Dominic Ontiveros, number 79, Samuel Thomas Poss, number 87, Cale Stegner, and it's worth mentioning number 55, Caleb Jimenez, comes in and plays guard when they put Dom back in running back.
For the Beat Diggers tonight, obviously, offensively, it's all about the running game. Tyler, they had 163 yards in their first game of the season against Wiggins in a loss. They went for 176, 172, 186 last week. They're not going to pass the ball much, but I think Brush has got to get to a point now that they eclipse over 200 yards. The competition gets weaker as a team. I think Tanner Ludgate goes for at least a 50-yard run tonight. I just smell it because this Arvada defense is susceptible defensively. The 2 games they lost, they allowed 240 yards in one of those games and 123 in the other game, but on 4 carries. That was on 4 carries for 123 yards. Now, the 2 games that they won, they were very good against the run. So if Brush plays to their strength offensively, they'll be fine. But this Arvada team can throw the ball with Trevor Lucero, their junior quarterback. And, you've seen this Brush defense at times get a little bit soft in the secondary. Last week, rifled the quarterback. They had 2 touchdown passes in the fourth quarter, so they have to guard against the pass game, especially if the pass rush is not as strong as the Beat Diggers would like it to be.
You mentioned Tanner Ludgate. It sounds like Tanner's due for a classic Tanner game where he breaks off a long run and has a pick six, too. He's done that twice now in his high school career, once this year, once last year. That would help the Beat Diggers as well. You mentioned the wind. That might play a factor in their passing game. It's blowing out of the north right now. We are at higher elevation. Downtown I've got a clear view of it from way up here in the press box. So coin toss has occurred. Let's see what the ref says here as the rest of the Bulldogs team.
Well, the Beat Diggers will receive. I believe they actually won and decided to receive. The kickoff temperature is at 73 degrees, so this is going to be ideal. Again, the wind is probably the only factor that could play a role in the game. But again, if the Beat Diggers have their way, Tyler, they're not going to punt the ball too much. And they do have a solid kicker in Eric Rico, and hopefully he'll just be up there for extra points, and that's it.
Well, since Brush decided to receive, they'll probably have the wind in their face in the fourth quarter, if that makes any difference. Looks like they're getting ready for the anthem. John, you want to send it back, or you want to let
let's take a break since we won't be able to pick up the audio from the national anthem here in Golden. John Beltran with Tyler Carmen will come back in 2 minutes on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Welcome back into your pregame show. Key to the contest brought to you by Buildings by Design. First impressions are important. Buildings by Design will make your vision reality. Visit buildsbydesign.com as the Bulldogs home uniforms, red jerseys, red pants, gray helmets, brushing their away white uniforms with maroon helmets. Key to the contest, I think, John, you already mentioned it. Joe mentioned it. They tightened up some things in their secondary where they kind of got exposed last week. They actually were very, I don't know, I would say pretty tough against the pass against Rifle last week. It was just, 8 completions was all he had.
Of 18, no, they did pretty well. It's just that you want to avoid those touchdown passes, but Lucero's going to put it up at least anywhere from 18 to 20 times. He'll put it up there and challenge the Brush defense. Arvada wants to extend the game. Brush wants to shorten the game.
We'll see who can win out here. Arvada ready to kick off. Kicker's hand in the air. They're going to kick into the wind here. Our right to left, kind of a low line kick. Sanchez is going to pick it up about the 10-yard line here. He's going to run to his left, back to the Brush sideline. He's got a little room to work for. He cuts up the field across the 30. One of the better returns for the young Juan Sanchez this year, and Brush will start in pretty good field position. That was something that killed him last week. Rifle, great field position to start nearly every one of their drives. I would say between the 30 and 50 in their own territory. Brush inside the 20 of their own constantly. Here they'll start from their own 32, wind at their back. Nate Tyne will start under center. Griffith and Ludgate behind him. Swing back will go right to left here. Turn around, hand it off up the middle. Ludgate will gain a couple.
That was a quick hitter there right up the guts, but there came a man unblocked in, it looks like number 9, who we don't have on the roster, but somebody came unblocked and made the hit after, like you mentioned, a 2-yard gain for Tanner Ludgate, but he's going to break one off at some point in this game.
Absolutely. They go man out wide to the other side. Stegner's tight end to the right. Turn around, head off to Ty Griffith. He's going to go up the middle, get tripped up, pick up another couple, and we've got a quick third down for the Brush Speed Diggers.
Noe Rodriguez, the senior lineman, the senior defensive end, made the tackle for the Arvada Bulldogs. There's nothing fancy about these formations whatsoever. Quick hitters right now for Brush on this 3rd and 6, but they've got to convert and not give the ball to Arvada this quickly.
We're going to go strong right here. Tyne's still the man under center. He's going to go pitch out to the right. Tanner's got room to run across the 40. Across the 40, it's going to be real close.
Yeah, he's got the first down.
They got the first down. He dove across, so good first third down conversion for the Brush Speed Diggers. That's exactly what Joe Rosenbach wants to see. I think he wants to get back to the basics a little bit.
Well, he said if he could run it 55 times and not pass it,
he would.
Not 2 or 3 times, not pass it. But a nice gain of 7 yards there for Ty Griffith as the wind
picks up just a little bit.
Yep.
We'll go a man split out to either side here. They're on the near hash. Hand it off to Tanner up the middle. Good solid run up for about 3 or 4.
I mean, they'll take that every time, Tyler, just working behind his left tackle there. And just a little separation. If there's a little bit more separation there between Ludgate and a defensive back or even a linebacker, he could go a long way.
The interior, or really the front 7 for Arvada, they've got some height, but not a whole lot of size as they're showing blitz here. Good hard count. Nate Tyne getting them to jump. That's going to give Brush an easy 5 yards. They finally pulled that out in the second half against Yuma a couple weeks ago, and they have done an excellent job. You talk about discipline. It takes a lot for your linemen to know for sure, hey, I can't jump here on the hard count. And I don't know that it's happened once for the Brush. I think they've gotten the defense every time.
Well, not only that, they got 2 to jump. 2 separate players to jump, and it's a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, the strong side backer was coming, and he was one of them. Ty Griffith's now going to get the hand off of the left side. Turns it up the field. Good tackle there by number 7 for the Arvada Bulldogs. That's Josiah Barajas.
But again, a solid gain of 5 yards for Ty Griffith.
And a first down.
And he's got 3 carries for 14 yards. And, you know, there's no reason the Bee Diggers should not have at least 2, well, not at least, but definitely 2 100-yard ground gainers tonight.
And then if you really want to, you go that 3 running back set and throw Dom in there just to wake that defensive line up.
Especially at the goal line.
They're going to go 1 split out to the right here. They're on the far hash. Griffith and Ludgate behind Nate Tyne. They'll give it to Griffith again up the middle. Ty turning his legs, breaks the tackle, lost the ball. It ends up in Arvada's hands. I don't know if they signal. That's going to be a fumble and turnover there. Griffith, great run, had nearly the first down.
Well,
Ball
actually,
came out, and it ended up in the hands of, I believe, Mongoya. I think Mongoya is the one that recovered it. I don't know who forced it.
well, he had the ball exposed. He gained 11 yards and picked up the first down, but that ball was exposed, holding it kind of like almost near his right hip. And when you don't corral that ball with two arms, and that's been an issue for the Bee Diggers this season, turnovers at times, more with the interception than the fumble.
So Arvada takes over at their own 31 rather, pistol set here. Number 10's the quarterback. He's going to throw it out wide to number 84. That's Trevor Lucero out to.
That's Arellano. That's a freshman, too, and it's a gain of 13 before the tackle was made. A freshman who is their leading receiver.
5'8" and 132 pounds, and he looks like it.
Yep, Jiraiya Arellano, and that's a well-constructed pattern.
That's a great throw. An out route like that in high school to a freshman, that's pretty good. Ivan Rodriguez, he's the senior wideout. He's going to go out to the right as well. The little man in motion here. Handoff out of the shotgun off the left side here. Hunter Proctor's going to turn that back inside. Great gang tackle there. Caden Kastrup in it as well, and that'll go for maybe a loss of one. The far ref standing like he made it back to the line of scrimmage. But
yeah, that was Mongoya that time for no gain, and if they can control him, again, he's the leading ground gainer. Lucero, the quarterback, is second on the ground, and that's why Arvada throws the ball so much. As we have a stoppage here with 8:11 to go in the first quarter, no score. The Bee Diggers picked up a couple of first downs, but then they fumbled it away on their first possession.
You liked what you saw, though. I mean, there was no stopping them there. They could only stop themselves.
An equipment timeout, yeah.
Oh, equipment timeout. Let's see here. First quarter of this game brought to you by Premier Farm Credit. For over 100 years, they've been providing affordable, reliable, and consistent credit. Visit PremierACA.com.
The Brush softball team won their 14th consecutive game moments ago. They beat Wellington on the road 18-5. We'll have their next game coming up on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. Should be a good game in Brush at Jocelyn Field against Resurrection Christian.
Weather could have been a factor there in Wellington, but I think we're good here tonight. Looked at the radar. Clouds all around, but blue skies right above us.
Another different formation.
They got bunched to the right. Three receivers bunched to the right. And they hand it off up the middle. Mongoya again. There's Proctor again. He's not going to gain anything, and it's going to be a 3rd and 10 for Arvada.
And Dominic Ontiveros had him around the left ankle, and with that type of penetration, now we see why Arvada likes to throw the ball. They don't get much out of the ground game.
Hunter Proctor is flying in there from his corner spot. That receiver isn't trying to sell a pass route or anything for him. He's letting Hunter just come flying in there. So now they put that freshman receiver out to Hunter's side now. It's our near side. Shotgun set, running back to the right. Lucerno's going to drop straight back. In trouble here. They went for looked like a little screen play, and it goes nowhere. Picks up maybe 2 or 3. That's number 2, Adrian Campos, who caught it right about where his center was. Brush had that balled up in no time.
That's a nice play by Snelling to make the tackle, because you're right, that was some sort of screen right up the middle.
Well, and that's all it was, because both receivers out wide went to block, so that was the setup the whole time.
They're going to go for it here on 4th and 7.
Nope, pooch kick here. Sanchez is back. He calls for the fair catch at his own 20.
Well, that could have been interference.
Yeah, a little bit incidental. I think the ref's letting it go because Brush player pushed 15. That's Ivan Rodriguez kind of into Sanchez.
Yeah. So it's not interference. You're absolutely right. And when that happens, it nullifies any interference on the catch that Sanchez was attempting to make, which he did, even though he kind of bobbled the ball a little bit. But the Bee Diggers, now with the same field position they had the first time at their own 21, but again, they control the tempo here.
Problem moving the ball, so we'll see where they go. They got one split out to either side. Nate Tynes going to stay under center. Ludgate and Griffith, they give it to Tanner up the middle. He's going to pick up 5. Kind of looks like that's going to be there all night long.
Yeah, there's no reason to change out of this whatsoever, because Ludgate, with those quick hitters, or even Tyler Griffith, they're going to gain positive yardage. Nothing's going to be near the line of scrimmage in terms of yardage. They'll be able to pick up 4 or 5, even more yards than that as the game wears along and they wear down that defensive line.
So I apologize. We don't have a number 9 for Brush on the roster, but he's your receiver split out to the left. They fake it to Griffith here. Nate Tyne's going to try the quarterback draw around the left side, and it goes nowhere. Loss of almost every yard that Tanner picked up on the play before.
Adrian Campos made the tackle along the Brush sideline, running to his left. I don't know if that was a design bootleg. It just looked like a play action, but, throwing against the grain, which he never got to throw the ball because he was being pursued. And it is a loss of 4 on the play. And the Bee Diggers now in a 3rd and 8, now in a passing situation.
I don't know. I mean, as good as their ground game has been, if you pick up 5 yards and you're 4th and 3.
Yeah, why change?
Yeah.
But now they're
make them stop it.
Yeah, now they're 3rd and 8.
So they're going to Nate Tyne's going to stay in it. Quarterback, he's going to stay under center. And we got a flag here.
That's a delay of game?
Really?
I mean, that didn't seem like. Are they counting the same number we are? That was quick.
So they have their play. Yeah, they got play clock down on either side, but usually the ref the back judge will start counting out loud and let the quarterback know. So that's hard to believe here. As Tyne's going to roll to his right this time. He's looking deep for Hunter Proctor. He's wide open. Instead, he tries to throw it short, and that's picked off. And Arvada's going to have great field position there as Yvonne Rodriguez. Hunter Proctor, I just don't know if Nate thought he had the arm to get it, but Proctor had, probably 3 Bulldogs beat down the field. He was 30 yards down from Tyne.
Well, that's not good. That's 2 turnovers by the Bee Diggers, a fumble by Griffith, and then the interception thrown by Nate Tyne. And he's a senior quarterback. You have to throw that out of bounds. There was nothing there. He was in hot pursuit, was the defender, and there was no way that Nate was going to complete that pass. And as you mentioned, it was well covered.
Yeah, Rodriguez was in front of the receiver. 5 minutes to go in the first. Arvada takes over inside Brush territory, basically inside the red zone, as Mongoya is going to get stuffed after the pistol handoff. Made it back to the line of scrimmage, maybe. At this rate, I think Arvada's thinking we're going to have to throw because our run game has gone nowhere.
Brody Dick was the first Bee Digger in on the hit. And Mongoya's got 3 carries for 1 yard, and that's quite evident.
Hey, if your game plan is to stop him, you're doing it.
Yep.
But there's one thing Joe Rosenbach can do. It's coach defense. So 2 left, 1 right. They're on the near hash here. Shotgun set. Slot man goes in motion left to right. Turned up the field there a little bit. Lucerno's looking his way. Beautiful catch there by the freshman. And that's going to be our first score of the game, courtesy of the Arvada Bulldogs. Not bad coverage, just you can tell they've practiced that play.
19 yards away. The thing is, Levi Cox got turned around because it was thrown to the outside shoulder.
Yeah, how many times do you see a backside shoulder catch in high school?
It doesn't happen often, but you could tell that was a design play there as Arvada's up 6-0. Just over 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter.
Campos is their kicker for the extra point. .416 in the first. Arvada puts up the first 7 points. As the extra point was good, they take the lead 7-0 over Brush.
Yeah, that's just one of these deals that the Bee Diggers have gotten off to a poor start offensively in terms of just controlling, taking care of the ball.
Yeah, 2 early turnovers by Brush. And, what's really silly about it is they haven't stopped your offense. You've stopped it yourself.
Well, Coach Rosenbrock said they're keeping it simple, and they did on the first drive. They went away from it on the second drive because you roll out Nate, and they thought, well, we could loosen up that defense, but everything was working up the middle. I think now they get back to that where every play is essentially up the middle with the occasional sweep by a Ty Griffith or even a Ludgate.
Just to keep them honest, yeah.
But your quarterback doing that's a little bit of a different story. I don't know how many times they've rolled out Nate Tyne, especially on the offside.
Yeah, in the first weeks here, that's usually Griffith in at quarterback when they roll him out like that. So Campos' kick is going to stray a little bit right. Sanchez bobbles it, picks it up, crosses the 20, sidesteps the Manning. He's got a little room to work there, makes his way past the 25, give him maybe the 28-yard line, and Brush will take over from there.
Yeah, the B-Diggers have just got to put together about a 10, 11 play drive, whether they score or not, just to reestablish some momentum. Because the one thing they're doing very well, well, two things. They're running well up the middle, and they're defending the run. But they've got to defend the pass effectively, and obviously they cannot turn the ball over. That goes for any football team.
Well, that's been Brush's Achilles heel all season long. Is Ty Griffith's going to take the handoff up the middle, carries the ball beautifully, picks up 16 yards, and an easy first down for Brush to start the game. You said it. They kept it simple. They went back to their bread and butter, and they're already out to their own 45-yard line.
He's got 6 carries for 46 yards, Tyler. There's no reason to do anything differently. I know that sometimes you might want to get creative, but not in this situation, especially down early in Golden.
Stegner's the tight end to the left. They give it to Ludgate up the middle off that left side, and he picks up 4, maybe 5 yards on that carry.
He's got 3 carries for 10 yards. But again, he'll unleash at some point as we hit the 3.5-minute mark in a fairly quick-moving first quarter from Golden, where the lights are on, but
it feels dark.
Yeah, it does.
2 tight end set here. They give it to Griffith off the left, Griffith off the left side. He's got room to run down the sideline, cross the 40. First down picked up, nearly a 20-yard gain there. The way Griffith kind of slowed down there like he didn't have the ball. I got confused.
Yeah,
but he picks up another first down, 2 consecutive runs for Griffith that have resulted in first downs. We come down on 3 minutes to go in the first. Brush Trail 7-0.
He's on pace for about 30 carries.
I believe they give it to him again. This time trying to go right. Picked up maybe 3.
And that's fine. They're at the 34-yard line. You know, the one thing the B-Diggers are not doing, they're not taking a lot of time in the huddle. And maybe that's a good idea because that delay of game penalty was still very fishy.
Yeah, it seemed weird. I mean, we still have 22 seconds on the play clock right now.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they break the huddle with 20 seconds. Feel like a delay game doesn't make sense here. Snelling's in now. They give it to him off the left side. He's wrapped up in a hurry. Made it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's his first carry. Now you set up a 3rd and 7. But knowing Brush's game plan, 3rd and 7, there's no reason to think about pass here. You can still run it, get 3 or 4 yards, and set up a 4th and short.
They've got good field position, too. One more first down, and with the wind at your back here, 2 minutes still to go in this first quarter. Get a field goal if you have to. There you go, tight end and swing back to the right here. Griffith's back in. They pitch it to Ludgate off the right side. Ludgate turns it up the field, nearly gets tripped up, churning his legs. Holding on to the football. He gets across the 30. And they have a 4th and short, and, yeah, that's a no-brainer. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, that's a gain of 6.
Ball to 28, 4th and 1. This is where it'd kind of be cool to see that 3 running back set again, give it to Dom. They come out. Griffith's going to step in at quarterback now. I sense a quarterback sneak coming. Sure enough, they get behind big Franklin Garrett. Ty goes up the middle. First down easily picked up.
Not only was that a quarterback sneak, Tyler, that's a 6-yard quarterback sneak from the 27 to the 21. This guy's he's mowing down defenders. And Ty Griffith already now on pace for 36 carries, has 65 yards on 9 carries, just over a minute to go in the opening quarter with a ball at the 21.
Was it the first or second week where I think he had 35 or so? And we asked Joe, hey, did you know that? And he's like, no, I didn't. Griffith here, he's going to stay at quarterback. He's going to roll to the left. He's got room to work. He's going to turn up the field, cross the 10-yard line. Picks up another first down, and it'll be 1st and goal to go inside the 10 for Brush. 54 seconds to go in the first. Let's see if they can tie this game up.
What a tremendous bootleg as he just circled it
at
around
like half
the left
speed.
side.
Like half speed. Let his blockers kind of get out their ways, and then at the last second turns it up the field, and they are at the 7-yard line. 1st and goal.
That's a gain of 14.
Nate Tynes back in at quarterback, under center. Stegner's to the right. They give it to Tanner up the middle. Tanner's going to spin his way into the end zone. Touchdown. Brush beat Diggers. with 49 seconds to go in the first. That defensive line of Arvada has got holes all over. It's like Swiss cheese.
It was too easy, quite frankly, for Tanner Ludgate.
Oh, it looked really easy. They were 7 yards away, and he didn't get touched until he was at the goal line. And from there, he spun and just backed his way in, never really was even tackled.
Arvada can beat Brush because of their passing game, but Brush could beat Brush easier than Arvada can beat Brush because they're too good on the ground.
Eric Rico's kick goes a mile high and is good. They've tied up the game 7-7 with under a minute to go in the first, and now we have a stoppage here.
This could be a big call. Let's see if this is a post-play penalty. It's a post-play penalty, so the extra point is good. Now the Bee Diggers could be kicking off either at the 45 of Arvada or at their own 25 if this is an unsportsmanlike conduct. They only say 5 yards. I wonder. I didn't even see what the penalty was all about.
Nah, I can't hear him with the wind, and the wind's messing with the mic on the ref too. So
yeah,
it will be assessed on the kickoff. That's all I know.
Well, the Bee Diggers with a nice drive in excess of 70 yards right down the field.
That might have been the quickest Brush drive I've ever seen. Brush Score brought to you by Bank of Colorado. They believe in keeping things simple. Apply for a loan you need for your dream home fully online. Visit bankofcolorado.com for all the info today.
Drive took less than 4 minutes for the Bee Diggers, and so far in the game, Brush has run, 19 plays, only one through the air. That was an interception. So let's try for the 55-1 ratio if it's not going to be 55-0.
Absolutely.
And I wonder if Coach Rosenbrock might throw in a blitz once in a while or something to get Lucero off his game because he's thrown 2 really good passes so far.
So that penalty was on Arvada as Rico's going to kick off from the 45. He's got the wind at his back. This thing's going to bounce at the 2-yard line and barely bounced in. That was as a Arvada coach, you'd pucker up just a little bit. Like, you better look at that. Make sure you go get it.
Okay, that's a huge risk. If that ball takes a back bounce, it's a live ball, and the Bee Diggers can recover.
And they were coming. I think Brush knew it. The return man for Arvada just kind of turned his back and started to jog away. So Arvada offense takes the field again. They're going to split 2 out to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun set. Mongoya's to the right of Lucerno. They roll right, flag flies. Illegal motion as Lucerno throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, Lucero was getting pressured along the far side. I got to put my glasses on there. Now when it gets dark, I don't know if that was Kastrup over there, but a lot of pressure as he was flushed out of the pocket. Now the question is, do the Bee Diggers take the penalty, make it a 1st and 15?
Oh, I would. Back him up inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, because the one thing if it's a 1st and 15, Arvada's probably going to abandon the ground game.
Oh, yeah, I think they're considering already. Haven't gone anywhere. 43 seconds to go in the first. Brush just tied it up 7-7. Arvada trying to answer.
This is the last 6 o'clock start of the regular season. The final 4 games, 3 of them in Brush, will be at 7 o'clock.
Ball's basically center hash here. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Pistol handoff to Mongoya. He's wrapped up again. He's going to lose even more yards. It's going to be 2nd and 17 for Arvada. Yeah, that run game is just not good.
Well, Griffith and Stegner were in on the play, and that's a loss of 3. And so far, Mongoya has 4 carries for a -2 yards. As we're inside of 20 seconds to go in the opening quarter, they'll probably get off just 1 more play. They have to. Well, they don't have to. The play clock
16,
more time.
3-second difference between the.
Yeah, they're going to get 1 off here.
Shotgun set again. Mongoya's to the right, 2 receivers left, 1 right.
Nope, maybe
Tight
not.
Ends to the right, 3 seconds. Nope, they're going to let this clock run out. That is the end of your first quarter, brought to you by Premier Farm Credit. We'll take a quick timeout, come back with the second quarter right here on 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan. Welcome back into Beat Digger Football on 1010 KSIR. Tyler Carmen and John Beltran from the North Area Athletic Complex, Golden, Colorado. Beautiful backdrop behind us, right up on the doorstep of the Rocky Mountains. Brush tied it up in that first quarter, 7-7. Arvada is backed up, second and forever, inside their own 15-yard line.
17 to go.
Lucerno's looking deep. He's got a man. Overthrows him there. Good coverage there by Levi Cox. For the Brush Beat Diggers, intended man was Junior Aragon.
Yeah, that was near midfield. He went for the home run, and Cox got turned around again, but so did the receiver.
Yeah,
so that's the whole thing.
If Lucerno throws that to the inside, his receiver's got a chance.
Lucero threw the ball 3 times in the opening quarter, 3 for 34 yards, and a 19-yard touchdown pass to Jiraiya Arellano. But now he's got a 3rd and 17. Beat Diggers have to play this smart, sending 4 to the quarterback.
They only rush 4. He's looking left here. He's going to roll to his left. Caden Catcher's got a hold of him. He gets it away. It's going to fall incomplete. Good job there by big number 59. That pass falls well incomplete, and it'll be 4th and forever. And you got to think Arvada's going to want to punt this away.
Well, I've seen more insane things, but yeah, they'll definitely get rid of this. Now, for the first time in the game, Tyler, we'll see what effect the wind has. But if you look at the U.S. flag, it appears to be very limp right now.
Yeah, it's not blowing hard.
Sanchez needs to gain some confidence here with his return. He's been a little bit shaky just receiving the ball.
He's standing on the plus side of the 50 for Brush here. High snap. High kick. This is going to be good field position for Brush as it bounces out at Arvada's 44-yard line.
Not bad, a 32-yard punt, but the Beat Diggers have their best field position of the game.
But it feels like best field position of the year. It feels like just they've gotten screwed on their field position here, especially last week.
Brush and Arvada deadlocked at 7, 21 seconds into the second quarter. We had a 19-yard touchdown pass from Arvada, then Tanner Ludgate from 7 yards out, and the Beat Diggers looking to take the lead for the first time.
One man outright. They're on the far hash here. Tyne's going to pitch it to the wide side of the field, and that play gets blown up as Levi Cox took the pitch and loses about 4 on that. Second quarter brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. One-stop shopping does exist. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories. Get off I-76 at exit 66A in Wiggins to visit them.
Well, that's the first time they've run that play on first down.
Yeah.
Normally they've been running that play on third down with Ty Griffith, but on first down with Levi Cox. Still, you don't panic here. It's only a 2nd and 13 at the 47 of Arvada.
You can get all that back and more here with one good play. They fake the handoff to Ty. Nate Tynes looking right. He throws it short. That ball's going to be picked again. That's Rodriguez, his 2nd of the day. That ball fluttered. I think it just didn't make it out of the hand as clean as Nate Tyne would have liked it. And after that good defensive stop there, Arvada's going to get the ball back with better field position. They're at their own 30-yard line.
Tyler, here's what I don't understand. That's a long pass. That's a long pass towards the sideline. Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, you got to throw some dump patterns or maybe some short slants, but the first interception I could see he was getting pressured and he probably should have thrown it away, but the second one, you know, that's it's on the quarterback, but the play call doesn't favor the quarterback in that situation either.
No. 2 wide right, pistol set. 1 left man in motion. They hand it off up the middle to Mongoy. Mongoy gets wrapped up again as I think that was Hunter Proctor again, just flying in there and breaking it up.
Yeah, and Tanner Ludgate also had some penetration. No gain from Mongoya, but the Beat Diggers are not playing crisp football. They have committed 3 turnovers already.
Yeah.
3 turnovers, a fumble by Griffith on the opening drive, and then 2 interceptions thrown by Tyne. Nate's only 2 pass attempts. So they've got to make it easier for him, some shorter pass patterns, and perhaps he can get into a rhythm when the Beat Diggers do throw the football.
What's really silly is 3 turnovers, and I still think they're the better team. Tanner Ludgate's coming off the edge or blitz, throwing it that way. Pass falls incomplete, out of bounds. Good coverage again by Levi Cox. Boy, they really like that freshman receiver.
Arellano was the intended receiver at the Brush 46-yard line, but again, that's a long pass attempted by the quarterback, Trevor Lucero. Now it's 3rd down and 10, and they're kind of playing into Brush's hands. I think that 19-yard touchdown gave them a false sense of security. They can throw that whenever they want to, and it's not been successful since.
So it's pistol set. It's like a deep pistol, though. That running back is way back there. They're going to give it the pitch to him. That's number 2, Junior Aragon, and he gets thumped by Tanner Ludgate at the 30-yard line. Might have gained a yard after all that. And it's a long 4th down again for the Arvada Bulldogs.
Well, that's because of Stegner's penetration, and as you mentioned, Ludgate cleaned it up. But so far, the ground game of Arvada has been non-existent. That's 6 carries in the game for a negative 2 yards. And as you mentioned, they'll have to punt.
Now
it could be a quick kick again.
Yeah, another little pooch kick here. Searle takes the snap. That's exactly what it is. Good punt, though. Sanchez is back. He's going to catch this just side the 30-yard line, turn it upfield, cuts it up the middle, breaks some tackles. Flag flies in around the 50 as Sanchez gets across the 45.
Yeah, I think Levi Cox had a block in the back. He should have just let him go there. Levi didn't mean to do it, but from what I saw here was a block in the back. Let's see if that's the preliminary indication by the official with 9:26 to go, second quarter, tied at 7. That's exactly what it is. And that's why special teams is so tricky. And
well, you go from really good field position to just okay. I mean, you're one play away from being in plus territory, and now you're backed up around the 35.
If you throw a pass on this possession, it's got to be a screen. It has to be a screen, something short. To go downfield like they've done on 2 occasions, I think is just asking too much.
The best brush pass play they have is that tight end cross, that kind of shallow tight end cross to Stegner. And that's been almost non-existent this year. I mean, they ran it at least once or twice a game last year just to keep teams honest. Tyne will be under center here. Little misdirection. They hand it off to Tanner. Tanner's going to get stuffed and driven back. In on the tackle was Noe Rodriguez.
You know the crazy thing there, Tyler, sorry to interrupt, that had that not been a misdirection, that had gone big. The misdirection was not blocked.
I thought the same thing. I thought, oh, he handed it off to the wrong guy there. No gain on that one. And here we have our first 3 running back set. Dom's in. Dominic Ontiveros, he's that middle running back. They give it to him off the left side. He's bulldozing his own players. Dom breaks free. He's up the middle. He's got a blocker. Wiley Acker throws a good block. Dom's down the left side. 30, 20, 10. And Dominic Ontiveros is going to take it in and give Brush the lead. No flags.
64 yards on the run. I've been videoing virtually everything. I didn't video that one.
He dozed his own player. He dozed his lean blocker and then was surprised when he was like, I have green grass in front of me.
Not only that, he gained separation from the defenders, and the Beat Diggers now lead 13-7. And Brush had 98 yards rushing in the opening quarter, and they're going to exceed that sometime in the second quarter because with Ontiveros going 64, which nobody saw coming, now they can go up by 7.
I think Arvada surely had to know as the kick. Ooh, it hit the crossbar? It did. Hit the crossbar off the right side. The extra point is no good. Brush still takes the lead 13-7 with 8:43 to go in the second quarter.
Well, here's the ground game so far for the Beat Diggers in terms of yardage. They've got 163 yards. Keep in mind, that's the total they had in week 1. As I mentioned during Beat Digger Blast Off, 176 in week 2, 172 in week 3. And then last week, they went for 186 in the loss to Rifle. So they're on pace right now for about 400 yards on the ground, which makes those 2 passing turnovers that much more frustrating, 2 of the 3 turnovers.
Sounds like Merino Rams.
Yeah, that's
putting
it.
Up 400 yards of.
And now I'm mad at myself that I didn't get Ontiveros' run because I was videoing everything and I figured, well, okay. I just wasn't ready. I didn't have it ready and I got burned, but nonetheless.
Great run. I mean, great blocking. I mean, if you're Arvada, that's all they did when Dom was in the game last week. You got to know, hey, guys, when 65 comes in at running back, he's going to get it up the middle. And Brush just great job blocking, great lead blocks there. Wiley Eichert down the field throwing a good block. That's what kind of sprung Dom there the last 40 yards or so. Good kick here kind of into the wind. Return man's got to catch it at the 10. Boy, he's letting that ball hang out all over the place.
That was Josiah Barajas.
Yeah, they caused the fumble there.
But they did recover, I believe, the 25. Return of 14 for Barajas.
Gosh, that ball was all over the place. 8:37 to go. Arvada takes over now, trailing for the first time in the game.
As Coach Rosenbrock said, Tyler, they cannot afford to lose a single game in conference because the team that goes undefeated, if there is one, will qualify for the playoffs because the highest RPI right now is University at 21,
Yeah.
and you got to be top 16, which means you're not going to qualify unless you win this league.
Well, good news for Brush is minus the turnovers, they are the better team so far tonight. They've given up one pass play, and that's it. I mean, that's really all this defense has done is shut down everything except for one play. They pitch it to Mongoya again. He's got a little room this time off the right side, but it's shut off quickly as Brush gain tackles, and I think that's the longest run for number 5.
Yep, it's a gain of 3 as the hit was made by Samuel Thomas Positive. I have the right number.
It was gain tackle for sure.
Yep, I mean, that's 79 is what I'm looking at. That's what I have on the roster. It's a nice play.
Bailey Mechanical, getting your house the right temperature is difficult. Call 970-522-0471 and let Bailey go to work for you. 2 right, 1 left here. They're on the right hash. Pistol set. Man in motion right to left. They give him the jet sweep. Caden Kastrup's going to try and run him down. Hunter Proctor makes a good tackle there at about the 30-yard line. He might have dove forward. Yeah, if your running game's not good, that's one way to try and spark it. Give it to your freshman lightning bolt.
What a tackle by Proctor, because he also tried to tackle the ball. He had that little arm that he swung into the stomach of Arellano, but it's a manageable 3rd down and 5, and if it's not the passing game, they can't pick up a first down, so the B-Diggers have just got to play them tight here on this 3rd and 5.
2 right, 1 left. Oh, that's live ball. Go get it.
It was an early snap, and he's down at the 13. That'll be a loss of 17. He wasn't anticipating
that was
the
the
snap.
center. That was the center. I don't know what he was thinking there. He wasn't thinking what everybody else was thinking because he snapped it. The quarterback wasn't even looking for it.
Well, I'm surprised that Trevor Lucero didn't pick up the ball. He had plenty of room. He could have picked it up, but the play was already broken because, as you mentioned, the center snapped it early. Nobody else moved on the offensive line.
And only 2 beat diggers really moved, and then they stopped because nobody else moved.
Yeah, now it's a 4th and 21, so the beat diggers should get outstanding field position.
Yeah, there's going to be another punt here. Who took the timeout? I don't know.
Yeah, it was taken by Arvada.
Was it?
So they've got 2 remaining. The B-Diggers have all 3 timeouts, but time is not a factor. 6:57 to go in the second quarter, and the B-Diggers lead 14-7 and have scored 14 unanswered points after the 19-yard touchdown pass in the opening quarter from Lucero to the freshman Arellano. Love to see something on special teams right now from Brush.
Oh, a nice return here. Maybe set him up inside the 30. That would be fantastic.
Well, we will see. Let's see. Well, is it going to be another quick kick by Lucero? He's actually about 7 yards instead of the conventional 12 yards or something like that behind the center.
Standing in his own 5.
Yeah, he might just try to pooch it towards the sideline.
Kicks it to the wide side of the theater. Good kick. Ball ends just right at the 50-yard line. Sanchez is he's gonna let it go. Smart. Yeah. Still good field position for Brush. 46-yard line.
He almost didn't let it go, but that's a smart decision. A punt of 41 yards with no return, so Lucero did his job.
Yeah.
Now the B-Diggers have to continue to do theirs. Keep in mind that even though they have the lead, they have 3 turnovers. In the opening half, they have more turnovers than passes attempted, which is kind of crazy too. You know?
Yeah.
Not passes, well, and they haven't completed a pass, but keep it on the ground, and let's see. Ontiveros is not in on this formation.
Griffith will step in, shotgun quarterback here. Tanner Ludgate's to his left. He hands it off. Right side, Tanner Ludgate's got a lot of room. Dom's out in front, cuts it up the field, picks up the first down. Nice 11-yard carry there for Tanner Ludgate as he gets into plus territory.
Well, that was a nice kick-out block on the right side to allow Ludgate some running room to gain 11 yards. He's at 34 yards on 7 carries, still waiting for that big run to unleash him and get him into the end zone, but he checks out of the game for now.
If you ever struggle trying to follow the ball in football, follow the guards. That's where it's going, and Dom was way ahead of it there as they fake the handoff here, try a little quarterback draw, and it's going to go for negative 1.5, I suppose.
Well, Ty Griffith had 10 carries for 79 yards in the first quarter. That's his first carry of the second quarter. And that was a -1. Is at the 44. But again, the Bee Diggers letting that clock roll inside of 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, leading Arvada 14-7 on a gorgeous night, 73 degrees at kickoff with a
Winds
slight
died
wind.
down.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ty Griffiths had to work pretty hard for those 10 carries and 70 yards, and Dom's got 1 carry for 64. Doesn't seem quite fair here as Tanner's going to roll, or I'm sorry, not Tanner. Nate Tyne's going to roll out to his left. He's looking deep. Oh, Hunter Proctor's wide open. He's got the catch at the 22-yard line. That's Nate Tyne rolling to his left there.
That's a tremendous play, a gain of 23. It still fluttered out there.
It did.
But Nate saw his receiver open. That was a solid decision and a good throw by Nate Tyne and a very nice job of Hunter Proctor coming back to the football.
Yeah, he doesn't have to lead him there if he just doesn't throw it short. Hunter's probably dancing in the end zone. They come out same formation here. Hunter Proctor's the man out left. Wiley Eicher's out right. Hand it off up the middle to Tanner Ludgate. He's churning his legs. Franklin Garrett's out in front of him. Pick up another 5 or 6 yards there for Tanner.
You really have to fire off the ball as a lineman with these quick hitters. And they're doing that. That's why the middle's been wide open virtually the entire game, Tyler.
15-yard line for Brush, 2nd and 4. Same formation here. Tight ends to the right. Receiver split out either side. Nate Tyne hands it off to Griffith. Griffith's off the right side. Oh, he looks like he had room, but he's only going to pick up about 5 there as there's a good low tackle made by Arvada.
Yeah, that's an excellent play by Mongoya. He upended him at the last second. If not, he's in the end zone, but Griffith picks up 5 yards. And it's 1st and goal at the 10, and he's up to 83 yards on 12 carries, and the Bee Diggers not wasting any time right up to the line of scrimmage. I don't think they can pick up a first down because it's just inside the 10.
I think it's, right at 10 yards, 1st and goal. They give it to Griffith again. He's got to shake a tackle. He does. He turns it up the field, and he is in for another Brush Beat Digger touchdown. A couple broken tackles later, and Ty Griffith has his first score of the game. 4:06 to go in the second quarter. Brush up 19-7, extra point coming.
Yeah, my apologies. I kept saying 14-7, thinking that Rico made that last one, but it was 13-7. Yeah. But they're going to go for 2, hopefully make it 21-7. So it was never 14-7. Old age is setting in. I forgot that he, as you mentioned, he hit the upright. But they'll go for 2 to make it 21-7 with that triple set backfield.
Yep, Dom's in the middle. They give it to him, and he is stuffed. Arvada saw that one coming a mile away. I think we all did. So the 2-point conversion is no good. Score stays 19-7. Brush lead with 4:06 to go.
And they gave it to him on the same exact side.
Yeah,
where he went for 64. It was the same exact play. There were 3 Bulldogs there. I mean, nobody. Not even a quick Ludgate or Ty Griffith. If Dominic Ontiveros can't get through those players, nobody's going to get through them. But nonetheless, the Bee Diggers have 19 unanswered points. Again, a 7-yard touchdown run from Tanner Ludgate. Then you had the 64-yard run from Ontiveros and a 10-yarder from Tyler Griffith. So 3 different Bee Diggers have scored, and they're up by double digits with 4:06 to go in the opening half.
And they've turned it over 3 times.
Yeah, but thank goodness they've cleaned it up since then.
They have. Saved the 2 interceptions. I mean, that fumble, the first turnover, they were inside the 30 of Arvada. That could have been a score. This is a wormer up the middle. It's picked up by the second line of returners there. I don't know who picked it up, but he makes it out to the 25-yard line of Arvada.
That's Adeyano, the freshman. He can do everything. He receives. He goes on jet sweeps. He returns on special teams. But the Bee Diggers, they have so much lateral speed, so much quickness. You try to run it wide on them, and they get right to you.
They do. Very, very good defensively are the Brush Beat Diggers, especially tonight. 4 minutes to go in a second. Arvada will take over. They go man split. They go 2 tight end set here.
How about a pick here?
That would be great. Shotgun set. Mongoya's to the right of his quarterback. Straight drop back. He's looking left. He's going to go down the middle. Way overthrown there. He's looking for, I think that was Gabriel Mongoya, I believe. Or no, that's number 9.
Yeah, we don't have him on the roster. I mean, unless they reassign him a number, but great coverage there by Wiley Eichert near midfield, and it's 2nd down and 10. All of a sudden, Lucero, who completed his first 3 passes in the first quarter, is 0 for his last 4. Yeah, it might be somebody whose number has been reassigned.
Yeah, he's a left defensive end, too, so I was trying to see if there's a D end somewhere who plays receiver as well. Can't see it. You're going to go same set up here. 2 tight ends, 1 to either side. Same for the receivers. Shotgun here, hand it off to Mongoya, dropped middle. Best run there by Mongoya is a hard hit at the 38-yard line. Good 2nd down run there.
Well, the Bee Diggers missed a tackle near the line of scrimmage. He gained 7.
Brush is going to take its first timeout of the half with 3:40 to go. Timeout brought to you by Champ Construction, whether it's kitchen or bathroom remodel or floor to ceiling tile. Call 970-571-1669. Estimates are always free.
He had 6 carries for 1 yard, and with that carry, Mongoya was 7 carries for 8 yards. Check out this total offense. They have
save for 1 touchdown pass. Very non-existent.
43 yards of total offense. The Bee Diggers are at about 200. They were 163 before that last drive in which they scored on that 10-yard run from Ty Griffith. So the Bee Diggers are on pace for at least 400 yards tonight, and most of them on the ground. They did get a 23-yard completion from Ty to Hunter Proctor, and that was a big confidence builder for Nate Tyne.
Mm-hmm. So Arvada will come out of Brush's timeout here. Shotgun set, 2 receivers right.
They got a 3rd and 3, so they have options.
Mm-hmm. Snap back, fake it to Mongoya, out route there to number 15. That's Vaughn Rodriguez. He turns it up the field, breaking tackles, gets across the 50. That was a quick hitter there.
Yep.
Worked very, very well.
Gain of 18. And a nice cutback as well. That's his first completion for Lucero since the first quarter.
Clock winding down on 3:30 to go in the first half. Stick around for your halftime show brought to you by Morgan Community College.
Yeah, we've got the best of Brush Bee Digger football during the second part of our halftime show that we'll get to a little bit later on.
Shotgun set here. 2 receivers to the short side of the field, 1 to the wide. Sarah's looking that way. Flag flies in the middle. Flag flies, so it's going to be PI. We're going to have, I think it's going to be a holding call, and then I don't know who the DB was. I think it was number 3.
It was Levi Cox.
Was it Levi Cox?
And it looked like he was called for holding the left arm of the intended receiver, which was Josiah Barajas. So this will be offsetting penalties.
Who almost made the catch still.
He still almost made the catch, but that left arm was being held.
Yeah.
And the coverage was outstanding, but the throw was perfect. So it's a 1st down and 10, like the play never took place, with under 3 minutes to go in the opening half, and the Bee Diggers up 19-7 in Golden.
3 scoring drives for Brush, but they missed an extra point and missed a 2-point conversion. To try and even it out here, they're going to go. Arvada is 2 left, 1 right for receiver, tight end to the right. Right side is the wide side. Mongoya's to the right of his quarterback. They fake the hand. Nope, they give it to him off the left side here. Mongoya, hard running, gets 7 yards there.
It's a nice counter. I'm not sure why they're stopping the clock. He never went out of bounds. He picked up 7 yards in a play, a second consecutive 7-yard gain. But it didn't look like he went out of bounds at all. He was near the sideline, but nonetheless, the clock stops, and that benefits Arvada for now.
That kid does not shy away from contact. I don't have his height and weight, but every time he runs, he is initiating the contact.
Yeah, he's going to try to punish the Bee Digger defense.
They give it to him again here. He tries to go up the middle, nothing doing there. So now it's going to be 3rd and 4 for Arvada. Clock's running at 2:40 to go in the second. But ball is at the 39-yard line of Brush.
Yeah, this is 4-down territory with only a couple of yards to gain.
Yeah.
And but don't discount a possible pass, especially with Arellano on that one-on-one coverage by Hunter Proctor on the near side.
That is the wide side of the field there. And Arvada didn't like what they see. They're going to call timeout.
With 2:14 to go, opening half, and the Bee Diggers up 19-7. And again, Brush has 3 touchdowns, but as Tyler mentioned, they've got 3 turnovers. And that's something they're still going to have to clean up in future games. Now,
absolutely.
After tonight, 3 of the next 4 games are at home, which that could be a benefit.
Well for you.
Yeah, I mean,
should bode well.
Next Thursday, they'll be home to Sterling.
That's their homecoming.
That's the homecoming game, and they've also got University and Tinmouth at home, but prior to that, they'll be at Weld Central on Friday, October 14th. So you still have a couple of Friday games, a couple of Thursday games. The schedule is all mixed up between Thursday and Friday. And if you go 5-0 in the league, you finish 6-3. I mean,
you set
qualify
yourself
for
up
the
nice.
playoffs.
Yep.
That's it.
Weekdays at 1 p.m. Don't miss out on 1010 Preps and More with John Beltran. He'll give you a rundown on everything from Broncos and Rockies to college sports and prep sports. 3-decade staple for sports fans is on 1010 KSR and KSR.com at 1 p.m. How happy are you that the Rockies are almost done?
Yeah, well, I'm glad I'm a Braves fan.
Yeah.
You know, oh boy,
man, that's a quick snap there.
I think he's short. That's a quarterback keeper on a very quick snap. It's
the only offensive lineman that got a push was the center.
Oh, that's a gain of 1. It's a gain of 1 plus, but that's going to be 4th down.
Yep, 4th and less than a yard.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Why are they measuring? That's absurd. I mean, it's clear from here. It is clear that he's short. Clear. There's no reason.
They need the, let's see, they need the 30, let's see here.
Well, then they need the 37, but they're not there.
No, they're not. The ball is in between the 37 and 38, but it's the backside of the nose is on the 38.
I mean, that's absurd.
We could have told you guys that.
That's a horrible job, even stretching the sticks that he missed by nearly a yard.
Well, they didn't have to really look at it either. Like, oh yeah, that's short. So half a yard, 4th and less than a yard to go, 2:05 to go. In the first half, clock will start running here. It should.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Back up.
Yeah, I don't see what the delay is to keep the clock rolling.
The play clock. Okay, now we start.
Got to watch for another quick snap.
Yep. So this is the only time he's gone under center. He tried to hard count there. He goes up the middle. That they're going to measure that again, I think.
Yeah, but I think he's got the 1st down. He's right at the stick, but it looked like he got just enough for 1 yard on that quarterback sneak from Trevor Lucero. They might even give it to him. Let's see where they spot the ball. That is close. But I think
that's not touching the 37-yard line.
No, but neither is the stick. If you look at the stick, it's just shy of it. This is going to be very close.
This is going to be very close.
I think he's got the 1st down, but this time
I don't think he does.
It does merit the measurement. We'll find out. Yeah, I mean,
need to flip around to the other side, referee.
We'll find out.
In the road.
Yeah, I think he barely got it. None of the Bee Diggers look like they're going to leave the field anytime soon. They stretch out the sticks.
He didn't get it.
I think you're right.
He didn't get it.
Holy mahungus.
He didn't get it. Eagle eye.
Yeah, I'm telling you. State Championship game 2014. Ken Denver and Brush.
Ken Denver, yeah.
Ken Denver and Brush. I thought Ken Denver had gotten a 1st down. Dave Urich said no, he didn't get the 1st down. With the way the ball was angled, the field was slanted.
Mm-hmm.
He beat me there. You beat me here. So I'm never doing it again.
So Brush takes over with 1:54 to go in the first half.
At their own 37 with 2 timeouts.
They bring out 3 running backs set again. Nate Tyan under center. Ludgate will go in motion right to left. They pitch it this time to Griffith. Griffith's off the left side. He's got room to run. Good. Seal inside there on the block by Tanner Ludgate, and Griffith will dive ahead, try to get to the 45-yard line. And Brush will call its 2nd timeout. Timeout brought to you by Miller's Landscaping. You put so much time and effort into your show animals, offering a wide selection of livestock feed and supplies. Stop by 19645 Canyon Road Q in Fort Morgan. So what little breeze there isn't Brush's face. But Rico, if he gets it, If he gets it lined up right and a good kick, I mean, he can make close to a 35, 40-yarder.
Yeah, and he's at 100 yards right now.
Ball sitting at the 44 of Brush. 2nd and 4 here once they come out of the timeout.
Are they going to pass again? Because unless you break off another big one, I still say Ludgate, I mean, he's due. He's due for a big
They are going to go pass
run.
here. They're going to go 3 wide to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Ty Griffith's going to come in at quarterback. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Nate Tyne is going to go shotgun quarterback here. Griffith's to the right of him. Nate Tyne's going to roll to the wide side field. He's got good blockers. Throws an out route there to Wiley Eicher. Picks up the first down right at the 50-yard line, maybe the 51. I think that's Wiley Eicher. I think it's number 8. It might be number 9, but we don't have a number 9 for Brush either. So,
yeah, the gain is 6.
first down, get out of bounds. Clock stops at 1:39, and you still have a timeout. So good play design there. Nice passing play.
By the way, you said the best thing I've ever heard. Past the 50 to the 51, which would apply in Canadian football.
That's right. My bad. 49. Tynes looking to the left this time. Threw it, into traffic there. Tanner Ludgate got his hands on it. 2 Brush receivers in the area. Eicher and Ludgate, neither one would come up with it. 51. I wouldn't even have noticed had he said anything.
No, it was great. I love it. I love it. I don't even think that's a mistake because Canadian football has got a 51-yard line.
Yeah, but I've never played Canadian football.
Yeah, no.
Or called it.
Yeah. All right, still 1:34 to go. The Bee Diggers will one timeout, 2nd down and 10 up 19-7 over Arvada. And this is trips to the left, so it looks like another passing situation, Tyler.
Griffith's to the right of Tyne. Tyne's looking right, swings out to Griffith. Griffith turns it up the field. He tried to get back to the line of scrimmage, but if you're going to do that, you should have went to the sideline. And I think Griffith knows it too. He's sitting there. He's mad at himself. And Brush will take his 3rd and final timeout with 1:27 to go in the first half. And a 3rd and 10 awaiting them after they break the huddle. 2nd quarter brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. One-stop shopping does exist. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories. Get off at I-76 and exit 66A in Wiggins to visit them. Ooh.
All right. Yeah, I think that's what we're being told is that that's a number 8 listed as Wiley Eicher. But, yeah, we're going to have to get a fresh roster.
Because there is a number 9, because I've seen them interchange.
Well, Aiden Gutierrez is number 9. That we do
Gutierrez?
know that. We do know that. Not on our roster, but I got that info.
Good.
Thank you for the relaying of that info. But it's 3rd down and 10 for Brush at midfield. We got 1:27 to go, and this is not 4-down territory, Tyler, unless you get about 7 or 8 yards.
No, yeah, I think if you don't get it here. So Nate Tyne will stay under center. Receiver to either side. Tyne drops straight back. He's looking left. Nice throw there to Tanner. Ooh, just threw it behind him. He had Tanner Ludgate across the middle of the field at the 30-yard line. Had him open and throws it behind him, and that pass falls incomplete. So you got to think Brush is going to punt it back to Arvada with 1:22. That was a nice play design. Tanner threw a pretty ball just behind Tanner.
Yeah, he had him wide open, but Nate Tyne threw it behind the intended receiver, and Ty Griffith will punt. Need a low-line drive. The wind is kicking up just a little bit.
That is not a low-line drive. If it flies as high as it possibly can, fair catch is called for inside the Arvada 20-yard line, so Arvada will go 1:16. Now, with Arvada not afraid to throw it, I mean, you got a 1:16, and Arvada still has a timeout, so.
Oh, there's plenty of time because of that passing game. The punt went for 32 yards, so an effective punt by Ty Griffith. But you have to make sure you keep the receiver in front of you at the very least because there's a lot of one-on-one coverage here.
Wiley Eicher is standing back in his safety position 20 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Now he trots up. We're going to go trips right, 1 left, shotgun running back to the right. Straight drop back for the center. He's looking across the middle. He's got his freshman receiver. First down picked up. Give him 11 yards. I'm going to let you say that name because you say it so well.
Jiraiya
Arellano.
with a nice slant, as you mentioned. And they're starting to get the passing game going again. His 3rd reception of the game.
They go hurry up here. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Right side's the wide side. 7-step drop. Threw it. Ooh, he had him open again. Threw it behind him this time as Lucero took a shot there at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, the pass at the 38-yard line intended for Arellano, but pressure was coming up the middle. However, he's getting some pretty decent blocking. That was late pressure provided by Brush as we're down to 55.1 seconds to go. Second quarter, Brush leading Arvada 19-7.
And they still have a timeout, do the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and they have not committed a turnover to Brush's 3, and yet the Bee Diggers lead by a dozen.
2 left, 1 right. Shotgun set again. Mongoya to the right. Man in motion. Goes right to left. Ariano turns up the field. Goes across the middle. Ooh, that ball's picked. Tipped and picked by Hunter Proctor. Hunter Proctor's going to go to the right side. He's got blockers out ahead of him. 30-20. He turns it up the field. 43 seconds. As Hunter Proctor is gifted that football. Pass was high. And you may not be able to see where the ball's spotted, John, but you know when to call for a turnover.
Well, it looked like it was deflected or partially deflected, and he caught it near the 45. That's a return of about close to 30 yards because he got it down to the 16. 42.4 seconds to go. You can still run the ball here, but you can't do it too many times. You got to be very judicious and selective.
Nate Tyne will stay under center here. He hands it off. No, he fakes the handoff. He's looking across the middle of the field. He goes to Cale Stegner off the right. Cale Stegner slips. Didn't get out of bounds. Clock's going to run at 33 seconds.
I'm surprised they didn't call a timeout. There's 29 seconds to go.
They don't have one.
Oh, you're right.
They hurry up to the line here. Nate Tyne will spike it, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, I was looking at the other side. Arvada has 1 timeout remaining, but they don't care.
Yeah, that's not getting used. As Brush is now inside the 10-yard line, 3rd and 1. They got to get to the 6.
Well, remember, the clock stops for the movement of the chain, so you pick up a first down. This has got to be a quick hitter. There's no reason to throw the ball here. 24.2 seconds to go at the 6-yard line. You could easily run it right up the middle, pick up a first down, get right back to the line of scrimmage, clock it again, and then run a third play.
So there's only 8 seconds now on the play clock. Rush has got to hurry.
Yeah, this is a problem.
Do not want to take you. Oh, they're going to take a
They're
penalty.
going to get called for delay of game.
They don't have a timeout.
Yeah, that's
players didn't know it. Coaches didn't know it. That's not good. Coaches were late getting the play in. The two subs for Brush didn't run onto the field until there was 9 seconds left on the play clock. That's a mental error on the players just as much as the coaches.
Yeah, now it's a 3rd down.
Man, now you're 3rd and
6 to go instead of 3rd and 1.
I still think
you can still run the ball.
I'd bring in that 3 running back set and then give it to Tanner or Ty. Kind of on a sweep. They're not going to do that. Tyne's going to stay under center here. He's going to roll to his right. Little throwback pass here. That pass is caught. Okay, they're down. They got 18 seconds. They gained a first down. That's a great catch by Stegner. Just get up, or what they ought to do, they just got to go quarterback sneak. Quarterback sneak. Quarterback sneak. He doesn't do it. He spikes it again with 12 seconds to go at the 1-yard line. That pass could have easily been picked. Gee whiz.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Stegner. That was a gain of 11.
High pointed it.
His second reception of the drive, but now you got 2nd and goal from the 1 with 12 seconds to go. If you're somehow stuffed, that's not a problem. You have
you have another opportunity to spike it and try again with 6 seconds or so to go on 4th down from the 1.
Well, you've got 2 great running backs.
You do. And let's see here. Ty, okay, so they're going quarterback sneak.
And Arvada's going to call their final timeout.
So they brought in Ty Griffith to play quarterback, and they went 3 running backs behind him. Don was in the middle again, and Arvada, I said they weren't going to use their timeout, but, yeah, they didn't like that at all.
Well, here's what Brush should do. They got to have 2 plays called right now in case they don't get into the end zone.
Yeah.
Because the difference between 26-7 and 19-7 now is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Because Arvada receives a second-half kickoff. Mm-hmm. You've overcome 3 turnovers in the opening half, and you've capitalized on Arvada's turnover if you get into the land of no hash marks there.
Yep. Absolutely. 12 seconds to go.
7:05 here, Mountain Time. I'm John Beltran with Tyler Carmen. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Weldona, KSIR.com, and on the TuneIn app as well. All part of the Eastern Plains Sports Network, and the Bee Diggers in their first league game of 2022 have now been called for a penalty. And I'm not sure what that was about.
I didn't hear. I can't hear the ref.
Oh, boy, that changes everything.
That sucks.
They're going to have to pass now with a second goal, excuse me,
Second
because
goal from the
he
6,
clocked
yeah.
it. You're going to have to throw the ball. I mean, you can run it up the middle. You can run it, but you have to have 2 plays called.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got to be a quick hitter.
All right, so we're going to go shotgun here. Ty Griffith's going to be your quarterback. Tanner Ludgate's to the right of him. We're going to power right here. Griffith's going to roll to his right. Come back around. Ooh, the ball. So he was looking for his wide out on a comebacker, and I think that was.
No, that was Stegner. He fell.
Yeah, he slipped. It was something. It was good coverage, but you'd have gave Stegner a chance. So now with 8 seconds, 8.5 to be exact, and a third and goal to go from the 6.
Yeah, you've got 2 chances to throw it. I mean, if they run it in, it's going to be an unconventional type of play to run it in.
Your swing backs to the right again. Ludgate's going to right. Low snap here. He's rolling right. They throw the same play, and that ball was tipped at the line there. That was an out route instead of a comebacker. Took 3 seconds off, so now it's 4th and goal to go from the 6. 5 seconds to go.
I'm telling you right now, Tyler, I'd run the ball here. I mean,
would too.
They're going to be better off.
I would
run
too.
the ball. They can pick up 6. I mean, they've had it. Well,
they're probably averaging over 6. They're going to go for a field. They're going to elect to go for a field goal instead. I don't disagree with that. I mean, you're up.
It's only a 22-yard field goal. Eric Rico certainly has got the leg. Oh, there.
Oh, that's a off. Yeah, that changes things. So now they're going to get that's going to be an offsides on Arvada.
The play never took place. The field goal would have been good, but the ball would be at the 3-yard line. I still think they're going to try about a 20-yard field goal. They anticipated way too early.
They did. That wasn't even a hard count or anything. They just took off.
That's awfully tempting with the ball at the 3-yard line, knowing that every single quick hitter has gone for at least 3 yards, if not more.
They're going to stay. They're going to stick with the field goal.
Well, this is essentially an extra point because it's in between the hash marks.
From the 10.
And offsides again.
They did it. Oh, gosh.
That's from the left side, and that ball's not even close to being snapped. And that was Daniel Miranda. I think the Beat Diggers go for it now. The ball's going to be at the 1.5-yard line.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's at the 1.5. Man, I think you just go for it.
Yeah, Griffith and Tyne are checking back in now. Yeah, now you're gifted an absolutely golden opportunity. What are those guys?
First of all, the chances of blocking a field goal from that short of a distance
very, very
are extremely minimal. And why Arvada would do that twice, that is also coaching, because you just got to say back off. You can't be overly aggressive like that. So that ball is resting just outside the 1-yard line. The Bee Diggers with a 19-7 lead.
I thought Arvada called their last timeout already.
Yeah, they did. It's off the board now.
Well, I thought they called it earlier because they left. They had one timeout left on the board, but I could have swore they called it when they brought.
I think you're right. I think
Griffith and Ontiveros out, and they went 3 running back. I thought they called it there, so I don't know what exactly.
It sounded like a 4th timeout.
Yeah, I don't. But that timeout was also when Brush got their penalty. I don't know if Brush tried to call a timeout and was penalized for it.
Let's see. Do they go Nate Tyne under center or Griffith in the gun?
Nope, they're going to go Griffith under center. And they have They have Dominic Ontiveros in the middle, Snelling and Ludgate to his left and right. 5 seconds to go here, 4th down. Griffith under center. He fakes it. He's going to roll to his right, turn it up the field. Griffith's going to walk in for the Brush Beat Digger touchdown. He's rolled to his right, nothing there. Turned it up the field, and Brush is essentially gifted a touchdown here with 1.1 seconds to go in the first half. All right, that is a gut punch to Arvada.
Well, they did it to themselves. First of all, it wasn't just the interception, but 2 defensive penalties. It would have been a 23-yard field goal to make this a 22-7 game. Now they can go up 27-7 as Brush goes for 2.
Yeah, they're going to go for 2 again here. They're going to go same formation, Griffith under center. They give it to Dom. Dom going to go up the middle, up the left side, and he punches it in. That 2-point conversion is good. Brush goes up 27-7 to end the first half. We'll take a quick timeout, come back with your halftime show brought to you by Morgan Community College right here on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of Beat Digger football from Golden, Colorado. They're taking on the Arvada Bulldogs. They're up 27-7. Tyler Carmen and John Beltran with you here as their opening kickoff of the second half. Leads to a return of next to nothing as Arvada's going to be backed up inside their 15, call it the 11-yard line.
Yeah, that was great coverage. There were like 8 Beat Diggers down there. That's called gang tackling. Great special teams play there. And this is by far the worst field position for Arvada.
Brushes looks like they're going to blitz here right off the get-go. They do. They bring 7 up the middle. The quarterback takes a shot there. Lucerno took a shot in his own end zone. He got the pass away, but it falls incomplete.
A lot of these Beat Diggers look like they've been hitting the weight room hard. I mean, because they're getting through there. Snelling and Griffith just tattooed Lucero, and it's second down and 10 to go at their own 11-yard line. If they don't set up the pass well, then they're going to be in big trouble.
Mongoya was, I don't know if he was flaring out or what, but he picked up nobody on that blitz. That's a good play call there on the defensive side of the ball here. They're going to fake it to Mongoya. Little swing pass out to the right. Good play call here as Arvada's down the sideline, breaks a tackle across the 40, across the 45. That's one way to get out of a hole is they're near the 50-yard line. I believe that was number 20, Adrian Crawford, who caught that out of the backfield. He was kind of their fullback there. He came across the backside of the line, left to right, and was left wide open there in the flat, and Lucero found him, and Crawford's got some speed.
That's a gain of 36 along the Beat Diggers sideline, and that immediately gets Arvada into a much more comfortable position. But they're down by 20 points, so they need a lot of those plays.
So they go tight end right here, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Rodriguez is your 1 to the left. He sets up the screen here. Ooh, that pass was almost picked off by Caden Kastrup, but it finds its way into the hands of Rodriguez, and then he goes backwards. There's a flag on the opposite side of the field away from the play.
Well, the Beat Diggers should decline that because that's a loss, a significant loss of about 5, maybe 6 yards. It's an illegal formation. Yep. So it's the same thing. Instead of 1st and 15, it's going to be 2nd. Yep. And that's really 2nd and 16. That ball's back at the 41. The 3 Beat Diggers read that perfectly.
I thought, from this angle, I thought Kastrup was going to pick it and nothing but green grass in front of him. I mean, he had to outrun the skill players of Arvada for about 40 yards, but he's a big dude, long legs. He might have been able to do it. Pistol set here, man in motion right to left. Give it to Mongoya. Mongoya's going to get maybe 1.
I mean, this brush run defense tonight has been incredibly good. Cole Curtis, a junior, made a big hit after a gain of just 1. And Mongoya now with 10 carries for 11 yards.
That's what you call tough sledding.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is not the game Mongoya envisioned himself having.
Nope.
So tight end right, they're on the far hash here. They're going south to north. Shotgun set here. Searles drops straight back. Now he's flushed out to the left. He's got room to run. Snelling closing in faster. Punter Proctor picks it off at the 35. That is an ill-advised throw. He was looking for Junior Aragon. Proctor basically ran the route for, I apologize, that is not Junior Aragon. He was looking for Diego Jaramillo. Either way, Proctor picks it off. And the turnover battle is swinging in Brush's direction.
Both quarterbacks have thrown 2 interceptions now, and that was a beautiful pick right along the sideline. That's the only alley that Lucero had, and yet Proctor was running the same pattern as the wide receiver and kind of really just jumped it.
Yep. Not ideal there, so Brush first possession of the second half. They take it over at the 35-yard line. Nate Tynes going to go under center. Griffith and Ludgate behind him. Fake the pitch, give it to Griffith. Flag flies, probably going to be holding as Griffith turns it up the field. Gets wrapped up in the legs and then brought down hard, shy of the 40-yard line, but this looks like it's going to be a hold, and Brush is going to go the wrong way. Sure enough. 65, the guilty party there. That's Dominic Ontiveros.
Well, you know what this does? This just allows them to chew up more time off the clock. With a 1st and 20 at your own 25-yard line.
Sounds like a 8 to 12 play drive to take probably 8 minutes off this third quarter.
Well, they walked it off, I guess, from down the field because it's now at 1st and 16 at the 29. So effectively, you give Griffith 4 yards in a play. Interesting.
It is interesting. Nate Tyne will stay under center. Fakes it up the middle. He's looking to pass it here as he hits Cale Stegner at the 30-yard line. Picks up just a couple there. He had Wiley Eicher coming across the opposite side of the field going right to left. I think if he would have waited a hair second longer, Wiley Eicher was wide open there, but that would have required time to kind of throw across his body. I don't know if that's something he wanted to do.
Yeah, the only problem there, like I said, not much yardage there, so it's still 2nd down and, 15 yards to go.
Yeah. Still just 2nd down here, 1 receiver out to either side. Nate Tyne will give it to Ty Griffith. Kind of a messy handoff there, but Griffith breaking tackles. He's up the right sideline. Man in pursuit. Is he going to catch him across the 20-10? Ty Griffith is going to sneak into the end zone. 65 yards for the senior running back. Get him some oxygen. I can tell he's breathing hard from here.
And it's really going to go for 70 yards because that was from the 30-yard line.
Right.
The original line
You're
of
right.
scrimmage was at the 35. 70 yards
Right.
for Ty Griffith, and the Bee Diggers lead 33-7.
I mean, I think Mike could give him 1 broken tackle, but not really touched there.
No.
He
just
handed it off the left side, and he cut back right, kind of right in front of the second layer of defense there, and then, just had nothing but room ahead of him. Kick is up and good for Eric Rico. Brush takes the 34-7 lead here with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter.
We could get to a running clock the way the Bee Diggers are going. They're playing excellent defense. Arvada's having trouble even in the passing game. They've had a couple of passes that have been very positive. That underneath pattern to Crawford on the previous drive went for 36. But Brush got out of a 1st and 16 hole with a 1-yard pass and then that 70-yard run by Ty Griffith along the right sideline. And now Griffith is at 175 yards unofficially on 17 carries. He's gone for 70. Dominic for 64. You know who's next. Hopefully.
Tanner.
Yep.
Tanner Ludgate. I would take a pick 6 over a long run from Tanner. Good kick here from Rico. Lands at the 5-yard line. Adrian Campos has a hard time gathering it up there. He turns up the field. Even worse return than last time as this thing is, he's down inside the 10-yard line, almost back to the 5.
Yeah, I think they'll mark it at about the 7 or 8-yard line, but their previous starting field position was the 11. And it's hard to work in holes like this.
You got to let that one go. He was running to his right and had to catch it out in front of his body. You don't want to catch a kickoff with outstretched hands.
Well, and you have to field it cleanly once you drop it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's an extra 3 or 4 steps that the defenders take while you pick that ball up. And now they're 92 yards away from the end zone.
2 right, tight end to the right. Power backs to the left, shotgun here. Mongoya's going to get the, he fumbled it. He fumbled it near the end zone there around the 1-yard line. Brush is celebrating like they've got another score, and they do. They recovered the fumble inside the end zone. Just not a clean handoff there between Lucero and Mongoya.
Yeah, there were 2 or 3 Bee Diggers. I'm trying to find which Bee Digger recovered that ball just beyond the goal line for a touchdown. Gosh, I don't know if that was.
There, yeah, you're right. Is
that Cox over there? I'm not sure. I wish that, you show the ball a little bit, it would have helped. But, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not supposed to gloat at all.
Right, you can't gloat at all. But that was not a forced turnover either.
No, that was. So now that's 3 turnovers apiece. Oh gosh. Arvada jumps the gun on the extra point again.
The Bee Diggers have scored 40 unanswered points. They trailed 7-0. And that was just, the ball was just dropped. And on that fumble, the Bee Diggers recovered it just beyond the goal line for the touchdown. I'm not sure who that was. I wish I could tell you, but we're so far away. And there were 3 or 4 Bee Diggers Diggers pretty much huddled up together.
It really feels like Brush is going a hard count here on their field goals and extra points as Rico drills this one home. 41-7 is your score with 9:48 to go. Just, what would that be, 12 seconds in between scores?
12 seconds. Yep, you got the 70-yard run, then the fumble recovery in the end zone. And Brush right now is one touchdown away from getting to a running clock if they can go up by 40, but you can't allow Arvada to score. And you know what's been most impressive so far in the second half? This Brush special teams. I mean, the way they're covering kicks.
Yeah.
Really impressive.
The 2 Brush kickoffs have been resulted in Arvada starting inside. Well, the first one was the 11-yard line, but right around the 10-yard line.
The momentum clearly swung when Brush scored that touchdown with 1.1 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah. Another good kick here from Rico. Oh, he did it again. The return man picks it up inside the 5-yard line. He's kind of bobbled it. Turns it up the field. He's going to turn almost nothing into something as a flag flies here. Right?
Yeah, that's going to be a late hit. That to me was, I believe it's a late hit on a freshman there for Brush, because he was tackled at the 21, a return of 20, but there was, I think they're going to call a personal foul.
He was going, it looked like, don't think it was intentional by any means, but.
No. And it wasn't a high hit, but he came in just a tad after the whistle.
Yeah.
So that'll give Arvada field position at their own 36-yard line.
15-yarder.
Yeah, it's personal foul. There's no doubt. He came in late.
Yeah. So Arvada will walk up to the 36-yard line. Much better starting field position than the 11 or the 6. 9:42 to go in the third. 41-7 Brush lead. Third quarter brought to you by Better Electric, covering all electric work from residential to commercial to agriculture. Better does matter. Call 970-521-1030. Mongoya is going to try it off the left side again. Ty Griffith there. Hunter Proctor to clean it up. He picks up 4 to 5.
Not bad. I mean, for Arvada's ground game, that's a huge positive.
Yeah.
As it's second down and 6 of the 45. Mongoya is up to 15 yards and 11 carries. Yeah, they're not worried about trying to get back into this game. They're down by 5 touchdowns.
They're going to go 2 wide right, 2 wide left. Shotgun set here. Lucero, ball gets hit. Tanner, that was almost it was. Tanner Ludgate got his hand on it. I think the ball was tipped at the line, but it still made its way to almost the 50-yard line.
Yeah, Ludgate batted the ball away at midfield, intended for Arellano.
That was it.
And
that was it right there.
Arvada's got nothing to lose. They're going to go for it even if they don't pick up a first down here on a 3rd and 5. But now we're going to have an official's timeout with 9:04 to go in the third, and the B Diggers up 41-7. And is that another equipment issue? Because I didn't see a timeout signaled by one team, so you cannot come out if you're the Water Boys. Yep, they're going to keep. Well, no, you can't keep that clock rolling.
No. It was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's a mistake by the official.
Trips right after all that. Shotgun Mongoya's to the right, one split out to the left. Lucero's looking left this time. He's going to go deep there. That ball I think is caught. Hunter Proctor almost had his hands on it, but Ivan Rodriguez comes away with it, high-pointed that. Brings Arvada all the way down to the 25-yard line.
That's a great pass, a gain of 40, and well defended by Brush, but nothing you can do there. Third reception for Rodriguez of Arvada.
That was a 50-50 ball. Hunter Proctor nearly had his 3rd pick of the game.
I mean, this is what Arvada wants to do. They want to make sure that they don't get 40 mercy ruled here, so to speak.
Pistol set, 2 wide right, 1 to the left. Man in motion right to left. Fake the jet sweep. Lucero got to run into his own running back. Mongoya was trying to make it up the field to maybe throw a block and ran into the backside of his own quarterback. And
well, Lucero's the second leading ball carrier this year, but he's got 3 carries now for 2 yards.
He's done nothing on the ground, nothing, including that play. He barely made it back to the line of scrimmage. So Arvada stays at the 25-yard line, 7:50 to go. Brush leading 41-7, third quarter.
B Diggers cannot get too complacent with a pass rush. Don't allow Lucero to throw. He had plenty of time on that 40-yard connection.
Beat Digger's leaving the middle of the field wide open here for good reason. Ooh, we're going to get our first sack of the game as Lucero's dropped behind the 30-yard line.
Well, that time they sent 6, and I think that was Brody Dick who came in and made the play for a loss of 6. Now it's 3rd down and 16 to go from the Beat Digger 31. They sent a lot of players up the middle and from the corners as well.
That was your strong side backer that shot that gap, I think, between the tackle and guard, and nobody was home to block him. 2 wide right, 1 wide left this time.
Yep, they're going to send 4 unless a linebacker comes up here.
Nope, they drop back to play a little zone. Lucero's going to go deep again to Rodriguez. It's great coverage by Proctor, but just outside the fingertips of Rodriguez. Pass incomplete, but pretty ball and a pretty route. Just really good defense there by Proctor. He's having a good game.
Excellent game. And now they're going to go for it, obviously, in a 4th down and 16 to go at the 31, trailing 41-7 with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the 3rd. This game could be over in about 25 minutes or in about an hour. It just depends whether the Beat Diggers can stop them and then score and get this to a running clock.
4 wide, 2 to either side. They're on the left hash. Lucero drops straight back, 7-step drop. He's in trouble there. He's got to roll to his left. Now he's really in trouble, and he's going to.
He's out of bounds. He's already out of bounds. He can't throw it, and it's out of bounds. And that's going to go as a sack again.
That's going to be Griffith there, credited with the sack. So Brush is going to take over a really good field position here, just shy of their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was a loss of 7.
You know what, though? Not a bad play by Lucero. Nothing's open. Don't force it. Just take the sack and live to fight another day.
Yeah, the only thing he could have done is thrown it away, and your field position would not be as favorable for Brush, but it only would have made about 6 or 7 yards difference.
Yeah.
And if you score here, you get to a running clock. We're not even midway through the 3rd quarter.
Brush goes 2 power backs to the right here. Griffith's your shotgun quarterback. He takes a snap. He hands it off the right side. It goes Tanner Ludgate. And I think he might even have lost a yard there. Good gang tackle by Arvada, led by Caden Dixon, the senior defensive end.
When they run right or left, it's not always there. The middle always seems to be there.
Snelling and Eicher are your power backs here. They go power to the left side, the wide side of the field. Tanner's looking for the edge off that left side. He's not going to get there as he loses more yards here, and we are 6 minutes to go in the 3rd, and we're a long ways from the end zone on that running clock as Brush has got a 3rd and 14.
Yeah, at their own 34-yard line, but there's no reason to think they cannot run it again. Again, they have not exploited the middle of the field with these first 2 plays.
Griffith stays in, shotgun quarterback here. He's going to roll to the right. He's got Stegner open. He's going to launch it deep for Kale. Kale's catch at the 40-yard line, turns it up the field. Beautiful rainbow ball from Griffith to Kale Stegner. Goes out of bounds at the Arvada 31, or I'm sorry, at the Arvada 29.
37 yards, and that's the best pass of the season. That is an incredible pass on the run by Ty Griffith. And Stegner now with his 4th reception for 58 yards. What a pass along the right sideline. Incredible.
Stegner ran a great route, too, a little fly route. Beautiful over-the-shoulder catch here. They give it to, they faked it. Oh, they faked it off the left side. Griffith's going to take it up the middle. The quarterback draw is going to go for 29 yards and another Brush Beat Digger touchdown. And there's your running clock with 5:30 to go into 3rd quarter.
The Beat Diggers now lead 47-7. Griffith with his 3rd touchdown of the game.
That's another really good play design. They ran it twice down here earlier in the drive where they gave it to Tanner on that shotgun handoff, and this time Ty just pulls it right out of the belly of Tanner Ludgate and takes it up the middle untouched.
204 yards on 18 carries for Ty Griffith, and the lead is now 41.
Rico drives it a long ways through the uprights, and you're right, 48-7 running clock. We might be out of here sooner rather than later.
No, there's no question about it. Unfortunately for Ludgate, he's now got 10 carries for 36 yards. Not the game that I expected from him, but again, it's not that it's his fault. I mean, just hasn't had the blocking on certain plays. But the Bee Diggers right now on the ground have 296 yards unofficially. But how about this after that pass by Ty Griffith? You know, Nate Tyne has thrown for, he's thrown for 50 yards, Griffith for 37. So the Bee Diggers have 383 yards of total offense.
I don't know if that was a game plan or not, but seems to be working. Good kick here by Rico again. This ball bounces, takes a good brush bounce inside the 10-yard line. Picked up by the return man, and he's dropped it around the 12-yard line. Tough sledding for Adrian Campos returning the ball. He can't time that catch. Every time he lets it go, it doesn't bounce in the end zone. Every time he doesn't let it go, it could have bounced in the end zone.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a credit to Rico's kicks. I mean, this guy's he's doing a heck of a job. Everything is high and fairly deep. Nothing is short.
That wind's kind of shifted. It's kind of blowing out of the west now, so it's not like he's got a whole lot of help. He's just lots of good kicks there. I think we've got some younger guys in on the D-line here for Brush. Try and get some numbers for them.
Yeah, they'll play the entire fourth quarter once we get there with 3:12 to go in the third, and the ball's at the 13-yard line.
Hand it off to Mongoya here. He's breaks a tackle there by Snelling in the backfield. Mongoya still running hard across the 20-yard line. Surely, first down there, picked up 11 yards.
Yeah, let's see how many yards he picks up now that the Bee Diggers are going with the second teamers who are just gaining varsity experience, because he had 15 yards on 11 carries before that one, went off for 11 there.
Jose Fuentes, one of the D tackles there. I think Brady Solata is in at the end as well. They're running to his side. Up off the left side goes Mongoya to the 30-yard line. Give him 4 or 5 there.
Nice play by Byron Flores.
Austin Lay is in the game. There's your right defensive end. And Gunnar Washburn is your other D tackle there.
Not much depth for Arvada. They're keeping the start. Well, there's a backup quarterback in there as they complete underneath. That quarterback in there just threw it is
16.
Oh, no, that is not the backup. That's still Lucero. Check that.
Lucero. I thought it looked like a 16 there, but no, it's still number 10.
Yeah, it was caught underneath by number 9, who we don't have on that roster for Arvada, but it's a gain of 4.
Under a minute 50 to go, clock running. Brush leads 48-7, third quarter.
I love running clocks. When the game's out of hand, I mean, can you imagine if they didn't have a running clock? You'd drive yourself crazy.
Oh, man. They're going to pitch it to the left side here to Campos. Campos is going to be bottled up quick there. He got to the sideline.
Yeah, he got a first down, but the Bee Diggers didn't make it easy.
No.
At all. I mean, they ran him towards the sideline, and he did pick up 4 yards in the play.
Axton Haswell in at one of your linebacker spots. He was in on that tackle. Richie Bruno.
You know the coaches are super happy about this for Brush, because they realize if you're going to build programs, you just can't build for 1 year. You've got to do it getting these players experience now. 48-7 inside of a minute to go in the third, with the Bee Diggers in the lead in Golden.
Juan Sanchez is your other linebacker as well here. And as I call his name, he helps make that play. As they were trying that screen again, Sanchez didn't bite on it. He stayed home. And he picked up that running back, Adrian Crawford, who came out of the backfield there, forced that bad throw. It falls incomplete. And Arvada should have maybe one more play here as we're coming down on 30 seconds.
Yeah, that was well defended, because he was wide open the last time they threw that to Crawford, and he went for 36.
And just because I happened to look at him, I watched Sanchez the whole time. He wanted to shoot up the field, and at the last second he saw him. Stayed home, good discipline play there as Lucero's going to go deep this time to Ariano. Ariano bobbled it in his hands, brought it in, wrangled it in over Byron Flores. That was an absolutely fantastic play, as Ariano's going to get flagged for a celebration here, but don't know that he cares that much, because he's going to record his second touchdown of the game.
62 yards on the connection. It's now 48-13. And heck, we can take an extended break here because the time has already expired in the third quarter. So let's take one. We'll come back in 2 minutes. Back in 2 minutes. The extra point to be attempted, but we're at the end of the third quarter. Brush 48, Arvada 13 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Welcome back in, Beat Digger fans, to the fourth and final quarter, brought to you by Rudy's Tires. 9 is the magic number. 9 locations across Northeast Colorado and Nebraska means there's always a location close by. Visit rudystires.com for more. Arvada scored there to end the third quarter, so they kicked off to start the fourth. Juan Sanchez had an absolutely fantastic return, but there's a flag in between the 40 and 45-yard line of brush. I believe it was a block in the back, and it's going to negate a large chunk of that Sanchez return.
Yeah, the whole thing, in fact, because it was near where he caught the ball. It would have been a 30-yard return, but now it's back at their own 33-yard line under a running clock, and the Bee Diggers lead Arvada. Now already we've won one play, and that was the kickoff. We're already at 10:52 to go in the game, and the Bee Diggers lead 48-13. They were down 7-0, scored 48 unanswered points. Ty Griffith has 3 touchdowns in the game, and we have all the second-teamers in there now.
Quarterback leading the way for your Beat Diggers now is, I believe, if he turn his back here, is that a kicker? It is. That's number 2.
Yeah, that's Eric Rico, and it's a gain of 7 by Juan Sanchez on that pitch left. So they're just keeping the running game going there, Tyler.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, you stick with your identity, right? That's what they're going to do. Yeah, Eric Rico.
That's brush football. Percy Oldle's going to be one of the receivers split out to the right side. I'll get the 2 running backs here behind Rico. I believe that's Richie Bruno, number 44, indeed, a freshman. That's a big freshman.
I mean, he is carrying defenders. That should have been a 2 or 3 yard gain.
And he picks up the first down instead. I think that's, 7, 8 yards there?
That's an 8-yard gain for Bruno. And, man, did he storm through that Arvada defense.
48-yard line of brush here. Clock coming down on 9:30 to go on the fourth.
If the Bee Diggers don't break off a big play, they could chew up almost 8 or 9 minutes of the quarter.
Yeah. This could be the last time we see the brush offense if we play this right.
Yeah, Rico looks good under center.
Give it up the middle here. Another good run.
Look at this, breaking loose.
What is going on down there?
Is that Sanchez? He's broken about 5 tackles.
A play that should have went for 3 yards goes for 14, 15.
Holy mahungus. I mean, he never went down. He never went down, and the gain it's exactly 15 yards for the 48 to the 37-yard line.
Had an injured Arvada Bulldog there. He's making his way off the field.
Yeah, that's the only time the clock stops for an injury or a timeout. With 8:59 to go in the game, and now they'll keep it rolling again.
Good grief.
And the Bee Diggers are going to try to eclipse the 50-point mark. This is their first game in league play.
What a way to start.
Yeah.
And we got a whistle now. I think Arvada's going to. Yep, Arvada's going to
What
call their first timeout with 8:45 to go in the third. Or I'm sorry, 8:45 to go in the fourth.
You know why they took the timeout? They only had 10 on the field. I counted 10 on the field.
They've got a few of their backups in as well.
Right.
Goya's still out there. Crawford's still out there, but that's just what you do.
Approaching the top of the hour, I'm John Beltran with Tyler Carmen. The Bee Diggers and Sterling Tigers will be playing next Thursday from Brush, 7 o'clock from Larry Mills Field at Bee Digger Stadium. Now, Sterling was walloped in their first 3 games. Then they beat Ken Denver 28-26, and you never count out a Sterling team. Even though the Bee Diggers are having a better season, you look at a common opponent. Brush took Yuma to the wire, losing 10-7, and Yuma beat up Sterling pretty well, like 58-21 or something like that. But again, those are only score comparisons. Still got to play the game.
Absolutely.
You know, we found out tonight the Bee Diggers were in trouble early because of 3 turnovers, and then once they got going, they couldn't be stopped.
No, Ty Griffith, Dominic Ontiveros leading the way on the ground. Nate Tyne, minus the 2 interceptions, one of his better games under center.
He played a lot better after those 2 INTs.
Sanchez is going to give it to Bruno off the right side. Bruno's breaking tackles. Nice stiff arm. Picks up 13 and another first. Richie Bruno, that dude. Holy cow.
Tyler, there's a reason that Coach Rosenbrock, during our first interview, said that what happened last year is not just a one-year experiment or experience. They're going to be good for years to come, and we're seeing evidence of it right now with some of these players that are getting playing time.
Bruno's a freshman. Sanchez is a freshman. Eric
Rico.
Rico's a freshman.
Yeah.
They give it off the left side to Sanchez this time. He's looking for room off the left side. He breaks the tackle there, across the 20, across the 15, across the 10. Flags fly here right at the very end of the play.
That's going to be positive yardage. That's going to be about 16 yards, but you're right. That's going to be called back because there is a hold. Let's see where they mark it off from. I mean, the flags were flying everywhere.
They were.
I mean, that call was obvious. They're going to walk it off from the 13, so it's a gain of 11 for Sanchez. He's got 3 carries for 33 yards. Bruno's got 2 for 21.
2 really hard runners there.
And it's the unconventional 1st and 9 for the 23, excuse me.
Clock still running, 7:18 to go in the fourth quarter.
That was a straight dive, and look at this. I mean, that should have been nothing, and it looks like
finally got that sneeze out.
Yeah.
It was like 2 minutes.
I think that was. I'm gonna say that was Tuck on the carry. The gain went for about 4. B-Diggers over 300 yards on the ground, well over 300 yards. They were. Let's see, they were. Well, we'll check that later.
Rico will pitch it out to the left this time. Room to run there. For number 25 for the Brush Biggers, breaks the tackle. Another flag flies. He gets down to the 2-yard line.
That's Haswell,
yep.
And that would have been a gain of 17 or 18, but that's coming back. Again, down the field. Well, let's see where they walk it off.
Axton Haswell, that is one of the coolest names I've ever heard.
Well, it was basically the hold took place at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So the B-Diggers now have a 2nd and 10.
Northeastern Junior College, whether you're a traditional or non-traditional student looking for an associate's degree or specialized certificate, visit njc.edu for more. Under 6 minutes to go. Now in the fourth quarter, clock still running. Brush leads 48-13.
Yeah, it was 10 yards down the field, so it's a gain of 10 because it goes back to the original line of scrimmage and a 2nd and 9.
Give it to Bruno this time. That's the first time he's been stuffed at the line. He gets dropped back there. Crawford was in on it, as well as 77, I believe, for the Bulldogs. That's Yahin Balegas.
Well, he barely got the ball, so there's not much you can do there.
Oh, no.
Give him at least a little bit of breathing room on this 3rd and 9 for the 23. Interesting to see the B-Diggers decide to throw the ball just to give Rico some experience in that realm.
I would like to see it.
We're at 5 minutes to go. The B-Diggers have held the ball for the entire quarter because of the running clock.
Yeah. 5 minutes to go. Rico takes the snap. He's going to roll right here. I think it's just a quarterback keeper off the right side. He's got some wheels. Turns what could have been nothing into a little something there. Picks up maybe 4. And now let's see if the quarterback can try a field goal.
Yeah, probably not. I think they'll just go for it. It looked like a design bootleg.
Yep.
And it's 4th down and 6 from the 20.
I think you're right. I think you just go for it.
Yeah, Brush leading 48-13. And Haswell, who nearly scored, is going to check out. Yeah, the only negative on this drive is the penalties, but that's expected.
Oh, yeah, young players. Happens. 4th and 6, 4:20 to go. Pitch out to the left side. Sanchez has got room there. Oh, it gets shut down quickly by the corner there. Perciolo not able to get a good enough block. That's a good play there by the corner for Arvada. Looked like it was going to be something there for Juan Sanchez, and he just...
Yeah, he had initial daylight, but that closed down quickly, and now they've got it at their own 21. This will be the last drive of the game for Arvada. Because Brush, even if they get the ball back, will just run out the clock. But Arvada, I'm sure they're going to put it up here with Lucero still in at quarterback. He's got a couple of touchdown passes, both to Jiraiya Arellano.
They'll go pistol set here. Just Brush Beat Diggers late getting a guy in there. Play D tackle, but he made it just in time. And Mongoya's only going to pick up 2 there off the left side.
Munguia now has, 34 yards on 14 carries. And now we have an injury, so that's going to stop the clock with 3:25 to go. And it's Mongoya himself.
Yeah.
And I was wondering why he was still in the game. Because
Yeah.
you got to figure, man, he's taken a lot of shots. The Bee Diggers have not treated him well.
No. Like I said, definition of tough sledding for number 5. Trainers will check on him. Sky Ranch Golf and Grill. They've got a great golf course as well as daily specials at the grill. Stop by west of Sterling on Highway 14. He's still down on the field. We'll go ahead and take a quick timeout right here on 1010 KSIR. Come back with the last 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Welcome back in 1010 KSIR. Brush Beat Diggers up 48-13 here on the Arvada Bulldogs as the freshman receiver for Arvada, number 84, Jeremiah Ariano.
Now it's just a deep sideline pattern. He's gone 76 yards. All of a sudden, this is going to look like a much closer game than it is. The last 2 passes from Lucero to Ariano have gone for touchdowns. Ariano now has 5 receptions, 3 touchdowns for 180 yards. So the numbers are going to look deceiving in the end, but it's now 48-19 in favor of Brush.
Brush has had its reserves in for the whole 4th quarter.
Right.
So, Arvada knew that. They went after the young corner. I don't even know who it was. But he gets burned, and Ariano gets his 3rd score of the game.
Extra point by Adrian Campos to make it 48-20.
Snap down, kick is up, and it looks good. It is good. 48-19 now is your score.
48-20.
48-20,
Yep,
right?
yep. But,
Clock still running.
well, the Bee Diggers will basically get the kickoff and have 1 play, maybe 2, and that'll be it.
Maybe 2.
And we'll run the numbers here as soon as we get to the final whistle. But the Bee Diggers are going to win their league opener with some incredible numbers, certainly on the ground.
The game started off a little shaky there. I'd say the first 2 minutes, and then it's been all Brush since then. And you're right. I mean, John, you said it. Momentum swung there right at the end of the first half. Arvada just gifting Brush a extra scoring opportunity there after the turnover and then penalties. And Brush was going to settle for the field goal, and instead they end up with another 7 points. 27-7 was their halftime lead. It should not have been. That's something that Arvada's got to clean up.
Yep.
Brush. A few more penalties here as of late. Arvada looks like they're going to, well, that kicker backed up like he was going to try and onside it. At this rate, it will only be 1 play as we're at a minute left here. They do. They try and onside it here. Good recovery there by Rogelio Caldera.
Well, that's it. That should be it because we're down to 48 seconds to go. I mean, there's not even a reason to run a play.
Take a knee and get out of here. Post-game show is going to be brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Make sure the nutrients you've purchased for your field are getting to your crops. Get a full plan of seed, food, and water with Advanced Agri Solutions. Call Dusty or Roxy at 970-571-2024. You've got some options for your player of the game, John, because we've got 24 seconds here. Looks like Eric Rico is going to take the victory formation kneel down. Go ahead and start our post-game show. John's running through the numbers as your Brush Beat Diggers are going to take home the league victory 48-20. Score a little bit closer than what actually happened here. It's really 48-7.
Well, it was a 19-yard touchdown pass from Trevor Lucero to Javier Ariano, or Jariah Ariano, I should say, to make it 7-0. Then the Bee Diggers came right back as Tanner Ludgate scored from 7 yards out to tie the game. Then Dominic Ontiveros gave the Bee Diggers a lead for good from 64 yards out. And then it became the Ty Griffith show as he scored 3 touchdowns, getting one from the most recent one from 29 yards, also scored from 10 yards away, and had a 3rd touchdown earlier from 14 yards out. And that essentially accounted for the majority of the scoring tonight. Bee Diggers didn't have a touchdown pass, but a tremendous job by Brush scoring all these touchdowns tonight and holding down an Arvada offense, which didn't do much in the passing game initially. I mean, they had 3 out of 3, but then the Lucero was only 2 out of his next 8. He ended up throwing for well over 200 yards because of a 62-yarder to Adriano and a 76-yarder. But again, the Bead Diggers with some monster plays. I should have mentioned that Griffith had a 70-yard touchdown run. That's the one I missed. 10 yards, 70 yards, 29 yards. Griffith actually scored 4 touchdowns in the game because he scored right before the break. So Ty Griffith scored 4 touchdowns tonight. And I guess he's got to be the player of the game. We could have multiple players of the game, but Griffith with that touchdown right before the break.
Player of the game brought to you by Gordon Insurance. Be prepared for everything life throws at you. Get car insurance, life insurance, farm insurance, crop insurance at Gordon Insurance. Visit GordonINS.com. I think you're right. Yeah, Ty Griffith did it on the ground, and then he played quarterback there for a couple plays and hit Cale Stegner on a great, I think it was a 30-yard, beautiful rainbow pass. I mean, it was the best pass play of the year so far. I mean, and he's their middle linebacker. Don't forget about that. He probably had a dozen or more tackles on the night, too.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many numbers here for Ty Griffith alone. Again, 18 carries unofficially for 117 carries for 175. And the Bead Diggers in the game run for 331 yards, and they pass for 87, 418 yards of total offense. And as for Arvada, 14 carries for 34 yards for Gabriel Mongoya, and they only had 41 yards on the ground. You give them all those passing yards, it doesn't matter because a lot of that came in garbage time, but the Bead Diggers win the game 48-20. Again, we don't know who scored the defensive touchdown for Brush. That's the one we did miss when there was near the goal line. But Griffith with 4. We had an unidentified touchdown. Ludgate with 1. And then Dominic Ontiveros from 64 yards away. The Bead Diggers moved to 2-3, 1-0 in league play. And Arvada is also 2-3, 0-1 in league play. Bead Diggers back in action coming up on Thursday, a week from tonight, when they entertain Sterling at 7 o'clock right here on 1010 KSIR. Have a great night for Tyler Carmen. I'm John Beltran. The final score once again from NAAC and Golden. Brush 48, Arvada 20. Thanks to Rose Condos, our sound engineer and producer, right here on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.